Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Victoria DeVette if you are new, and today we're going to be looking at the new Urban Decay Naked Wild West palette. I am from El Paso, Texas, which really identifies with the Wild West in my opinion. I grew up in the desert. When I saw this palette, I knew I had to get it. Packaging is stunning. I love the color story. I was excited to get my hands on it. So I am going to be doing a look for you guys today and giving my thoughts. I haven't had a naked palette from Urban Decay in years. The last one that I got was the Naked 3 palette, and I actually don't even have it anymore. I believe I gave it away. I did use it a lot, and then I just kind of moved on, and I haven't really looked back to the naked palettes for some reason. So this is my first one in years, so my thoughts are going to be kind of non-biased. I'm not going to be able to really compare this palette to the other naked palettes. It's kind of just a first impression. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the swatches, and then we'll get into the look.
Just like my father, I'll be alright. Undone and I can't forget about it. Undone and I can't forget about it. Undone and I can't forget about it. Undone and I can't.
Okay, so I'm going to start off by priming my lids with the Vitamin Enriched Eye Base from Bobbi Brown. Okay, and I'm going to start off with the shade Ghost Town, which is like this burnt orange terracotta, and I love the name Ghost Town. It is my dream to visit as many ghost towns as I possibly can. Every time we're driving on a road trip and we see a ghost town, I'm just like, I want to stop and explore so bad. I have not gotten to yet, but I'm going to. So I'm going to take this on the outer corner and work it into the crease. And it actually went on pretty heavy, very pigmented. And I am using the brush that comes in the palette, using the larger end. And I'm slightly starting to blend, just going back and forth and working upwards. I'm going to take a fluffy brush and really get a good blend. Just taking a smaller blending brush. Kind of just like a transition base shade. Now to deepen up the crease and outer corner, I'm going to take the shade Tex, which is this beautiful teal matte shade. This is probably my favorite shade in here. I think it's like the one that stands out the most. And I am really just going to pack that on.
What's there to say? There's nothing but space in between you and I. It's okay that we change, but it feels kind of strange that you're not in my life. You're the only one that saves me.
And this shade is so pigmented and it's going on beautifully. It's already kind of starting to blend in with that Ghost Town shade. Now I'm taking a tiny bit amount, I just barely tapped into it with my smaller fluffy brush. I'm gonna go back over those edges.
One more time, I should have told you that I loved you. One more time, one more time.
I'm gonna take a little bit of Ghost Town on that brush as well. Now I'm gonna take some concealer and clean up the crease.
would you have stayed if I had been honest with you from the start?
And I am going to leave it about right here. I'm not going to take the concealer all the way out. Now I'm taking my Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion on top of that concealer. I'm just taking my finger and blending that primer into that text shade on the edge here. I will blend it a little bit better once I am done applying the shadows that are going to go here. So first I'm going to take the shade Hold'em, which is this gold shimmer. Taking that one on the inner portion of that crease. This one's kind of loose once it's picked up on a brush. Okay, and for the center portion, I'm going to use this brown bronzy shimmer. It is the shade Rustler. Just blending in those two shades. And I am bringing it out further towards the outer corner up here by the crease. I want it to kind of go at a diagonal. Now taking text again on that outer corner. Making sure to really apply it at an angle. And I'm using the smaller end now of the brush that comes in the palette. Now going back in with Rustler just to kind of get a good blend between these two shades. And back in with text. Now to get even more of an even blend between these two shades, I'm going to take a little bit of Ghost Town, which again is that terracotta color. Just applying that right where they meet. Now I'm actually going to take the shade Hold'em, which was that gold that I used in this inner portion right here, and I'm just going to take that on the inner corner as well. Right on top of that, I'm going to use a little bit of this Cowboy Rit. This is kind of like a silvery, almost kind of has a purple tone to it. I'm just taking a little bit of that directly on top in that inner corner. I'm also going to use a small amount of this Cowboy Rit shade for the brow bone. Okay, so now I'm going to do the other side and the rest of my face, and I'll be back to do the lower lash line. Okay, so my face and the other eye are done. Now for the lower lash line, I'll start by taking some of the Ghost Town shade, and I'm going to actually blend out this lower edge of the text from that outer corner. And I'm gonna take Ghost Town from that outer edge and start bringing it onto the lower lash line. And I'm just kind of blending as I go. And now I'm going to take just a little bit of text and bring that down from the outer corner, but just keeping it on the lower outer corner. I'm I'm not going to do a winged liner, but I am going to add a little bit of liquid liner just to kind of act as a base for my lashes. And I'm using this liquid liner from CoverGirl. It is a super matte liquid liner. I love it. I don't really care too much for the applicator, but I found that because it's so matte, it really helps my lashes stick. Okay, and for lashes, I'm going to use the Dynasty Diva lashes from BH Cosmetics. They're part of the Lunar New Year collection. Okay, and for the lips, I'm going to use my favorite lipstick of all time. It is the shade Maud from Anastasia Beverly Hills. It is like a burnt orange, red brown, which I think will be perfect. And to line my lips, I'm using this lippy pencil from ColourPop. It is the shade BFF2. Okay, and on top I'm going to use this soft matte lip cream from NYX. It is the shade London, and this is just to kind of give it a slightly muted color. Now I'm setting my face with the Cover FX Dewy Finish Setting Spray. And this is the finished look using the new Urban Decay Naked Wild West palette. So like I mentioned earlier, I haven't owned a Naked palette from Urban Decay in years. The last one that I owned was the Naked 3. I actually no longer even have it. I think I gave it to someone because I got a lot of use out of it, but then I just kind of stopped using it. I kind of moved on to other palettes, and I haven't really gone back to the Naked palettes for some reason. I feel like my impression with the Naked 3 wasn't super amazing. I remember that the eyeshadows blended really well, but I think they blended too well for me back then. So all the pinks and purples in that palette just kind of blended together no matter what I did on my eyes. I feel like maybe my experience would be a little bit different now if I still had it, but I am really happy that I was able to pick this one up. Like I mentioned earlier, the Wild West just really speaks to me because of where I'm from. Of course, I absolutely love the color story in here. I love the warm browns, the terracotta shade, the teals. Overall, I think it's a really beautiful palette. I really love how well all of the shades that I use blended. There were moments where I was using that text shade, that teal, and because it's so pigmented and it's so dark, I was so scared that I wasn't gonna be able to get a good blend. But as I just kept working it, it just kind of blended on its own. I felt like the shimmers did that as well with each other. There's 4 shimmers in here. I used 3 of them. The Hold'em, Cowboy Rick, and Rustler. With Hold'em and Cowboy Rick, these 2 here, I did notice a bit of fallout and kick up in the pan. I feel like those I would have to probably use a damp brush. I feel like I wouldn't have that problem if I use a damp brush, but when I was applying it on that concealer, especially the Hold'em on the cut crease area, it kept kind of flicking and moving to the text that I have in the crease. Nothing too crazy. They're just kind of dry shimmers, so they do kind of move around, but the pigment was great. Love the blendability. Oh, and I almost forgot about the brush that comes in the palette. I actually really like it. One of the brushes that I love to reach for is the brush that came in the Urban Decay Stoned Vibes palette, and I feel like this is going to be another one that I reach for often. I think they have pretty good quality brushes that come in their palettes. Overall, I really enjoy this palette, and I am very happy that I was able to pick it up, and I am very impressed with the formulas, and it is their vegan formula. Again, I don't really have any other Naked palettes to compare it to. I'm not sure how the vegan formula compares to their non-vegan formula, but I really enjoy this formula. Love it. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys are planning on picking this up, if you guys already have, let me know your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching. Remember that you are loved, you are seen, and you are beautiful. If you like this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.